Right, spoiler alert. I've just watched this video back and it is long-winded, it is a ramble, it's like 16 minutes long, and it's me talking about my struggles with OCD and feeling inadequate. If that's not your cup of tea, I'm just giving you a chance. Don't save some time, go do something else. If that's interesting to you, it's all done in one take because nobody needs a jump cut between every breath. Like, let's just talk to each other like humans. Anyway, back to the video and yeah, I hope it's of use to at least one person. I've got to a point where I think self-help and self-improvement is really harming me mentally, which is a strange thing because the methodology behind it comes from a place of improvement and a place of strength and let's be empowered and better and feel like we're making progress. But I can't stop wanting to be better. And I think it's because of OCD. And I only found out I had OCD about 2 months ago, maybe 3, because I've been taking some new antidepressants. I've been having a really hard time for the last couple of years, 2-3 years. Bit of context. I run my own business called Mergs. We're a weightlifting and CrossFit business. It's only me. There's no one else. I work from home, which I hate. And I've got 2 twin girls. No, I don't. That'd be 4. I've got twin girls aged 2.5. So that's chaos as well. And a wife. And we're married. So bit of background. And I'm just really struggling at the moment with battling me. It's awful. I've got this sort of inadequacy complex where I can't ever feel like I'm doing well enough. I'm so harsh on myself. I'm so strict. I push myself really hard. And I always have this idea that I could do better. I could do something better. I could do it more efficiently. I could do it more effectively. And it's absolutely crippling me. It's crippling me. It's horrible. It was the other night. And I went to a therapy session recently. And we've only done one. Like, we're just dipping the toes in the water. So I've done 1 hour. Loved it. It was great. And I was thinking that day, got to that evening, wife's at work, works for the NHS, she's a nurse, so she's off at work. And I had a small job to do. So I had to jump up, I might have needed the toilet, I needed to get a drink, I might have to take a plate, maybe load the dishwasher and maybe grab something from upstairs. Think of 3 to 5 miscellaneous tasks that are not really linked, that have got no bearing on anything. And bear in mind as well, there's no time constraints. It's just like 6:30. Like, it's just an evening. I'm doing nothing. Girls are in bed. Happy days. And I got up and I'm like, right, I need to go for a wee. But I also need to get that thing from upstairs. Sure, I'll take the plate into the kitchen. I'll load the dishwasher. I'll go for a wee on the way past. I'll go upstairs. I'll grab the thing. I'll come back down. And then I'm like, oh my God. All I do constantly is look to improve things that don't need to improve. Taking a plate in and putting it in the dishwasher should not be part of a grand plan of efficiently doing your jobs. It's absolutely stupid when you think about it. You're like, wow, as if that's a concern in my mind. Like, oh, I need to do this in the best way. And I remember doing it in a funny way, being like, I knew I shouldn't have gone upstairs first. That's genuinely craziness. And I know that. I feel like there's 2 parts of my mind. One of them that's deep down that has to try the back of the door handle every time I pass it or see it because I'm like, oh, what if it's open? So what if it's open? I've never been broken into. We don't live in a high crime area. It's not like people are going around trying your doors all the time. I just have this paranoia that if the door's unlocked, I'm not safe. I can't sit comfortably knowing the front door isn't locked. That's bananas. That is just craziness. And I think it ties into that. I think a little part of me as well is completely obsessed with self-improvement. And God, it just makes... Oh, that was just a panic. Sorry, I thought we were recording. I almost had a heart attack. Not literally. But I was like... I can't believe I'm obsessing over such stupid things. But it's weird because once I went to the therapy session, I'm now paying more attention to my sort of subconscious automatic decisions and the decision making I'm making. It's weird. But I'm observing it from a third person perspective and being like, so why would you need to do this and that? Why do you get ready for bed and run the warm tap and then brush my teeth, and by the time that's done, the tap's then warm, so then I can rinse my toothbrush, rinse my mouth, wash my face. And does it need to be in that order? I get uncomfortable if things are in the wrong order, and it's driving me mad. And I think I've fallen into the trap of the self-improvement things. You know, I really enjoy videos from Ali Abdaal and Alex Hormozi, and there's some people out there that are big names because they put out interesting information, and I'm like, yeah, I can get on board with some of this. Cool, let's all be better. I'm a massive fan of being better, but I just never feel accomplished, ever. I never feel like I've achieved anything, or I do, but it's for like 10 seconds. Tiger Woods used to have a thing on the golf course where he'd play a shot, and if it was a bad shot or a good shot, he'd give himself 3 seconds to consider that shot and be like, not a great one that, or I did well, and then he'd walk off, and that was it. That shot is out of his mind. I feel like that's what I live like, you know? When I have these wins, it's like, oh, I did a thing. Right, back to work. What do I need to do? And it's driving me insane. It's driving me insane. It's really hard as well to manage yourself. It's even easier when things are physical. If you go break your leg, we kind of know the procedure to make this right. You can look at your leg and you're not conscious from your leg. Your leg's not going, I'm broken. You know, like your mind, you are in your mind. You only exist in your head. And I think that's why it's hard. You know, if you cut your finger, I don't know what to say, like your consciousness can deal with it as if that's a different person. For most of us, you can go, oh, I need a plaster. And you're kind of looking at that as an issue and dealing with it externally. Fine. But when it comes to your own mind, it's hard. It's really hard. I think I've got a fear of failure as well, and somewhat perfectionism. And I mean, silly examples that I've started realising, like when I get a car, never bought a new car, but when I get a new car to me, I take all the badges off it, off the back, off the sides. I make the front ones black. I make it like neutral. I like symmetry and balance, and I like things to just look right, but it doesn't look right. It only looks right to me. You walk around my house and there are literally no pictures hung up on the walls. And you might think, oh, that's sad. Why? It makes me uneasy. Not literally. I can't walk around a house and be like, oh, paintings, pictures. No, like it's not that bad. But I think it's because I like the clean. I like neutrality. I like consistency. You'll notice I've got no tattoos. You know, there's not a lion with a crown on or a rose in sight. And I think it's because I just like skin to be a blank canvas. I like it to be, like I say, consistent and neutral and just plain. And it's really weird. I've had not a fear's too much. I've had a problem with DIY for many years. All of them, all right? And I used to work in engineering, so I'm reasonably competent. You know, I used to make things out of metal and wood, and I don't know, I can do more than average, right? I'm semi-useful with my hands. And from that, I look back and think, right, my mind's gone blank. So the DIY thing. So anyways, I'm good at DIY because of engineering. Sorry about that, my brain just stopped. I can do DIY, I'm physically competent, right? I hate doing it. Why? I've only just learnt that it's a fear of failure. It's a fear of it not being perfect. Like a few years ago, we put up some baby gates and some protection. We've got an open fire downstairs, so I put a gate on. It took ages. Why? Only now I realise it took not ages to complete the job. It took me like 45 minutes. It took me 2 weeks to put them on. Why? Only now I realise it's because they had to be spot on, or I'd have been upset with myself, and every time I noticed them, I'd have been like, oh, you've made a mess of that. You know, and yeah, there's a lot of weird little anecdotes and stupid things that I do. And it's just getting to me. And the thing is, it's really hard, like I say, because it's in your own mind. It's hard to look at yourself from a third person perspective and fix the issues you're dealing with. But yeah, I just feel like I'm stuck in an infinite loop of inferiority. And it's awful. It's awful. It's really good for people that are ambitious. So if you've got ambition and happiness, it literally, your ambition will rise and you will keep going and grinding away at stuff that, you know, this business, I love it, but sometimes I've wanted to quit. I've wanted to just be like, no, I'll just turn the website off and go back and get a real job. I never have. I've stuck at it. But then happiness at the other side, it shrinks. It shrinks because I never feel achieved. I never feel like I've done anything. I never feel like I've ticked something off that's significant. I never feel like, well done, you've done a great job. And if I do, it's for a minute and then it's gone. This is another one that's really sad. You know, I'll get in my car, and I only bought a new car, new to me, so 2013 Audi A6. I bought it like, I don't know, 2-3 months ago, if that, maybe 2. And I remember driving it home and seeing other cars. You know, I think I saw an Audi RS6, and I was driving home, and all I could think was, yeah, one day, this'll be that. How sad's that? You know, like, and don't get me wrong, there was 2/3 of me that was incredibly... I love that car. It does everything. It's got a 3-litre twin-turbo diesel. It's absolutely rapid. It weren't a fortune. It's great. There's so much room. Anyways, I love cars, into cars. But how sad is it coming home, being 2/3 really happy, and 1/3 being like, next one? Gonna get the better one. Like, it's sad. And I just find myself there a lot at the minute, you know. I mean, the same with the gym, you know. I started the gym because when I was 16, just at the end of school, it was just when we'd left high school, year 11 into 6th form. And I just remember thinking, well, I can't make anything above the neck look any better, so all I can control is below the neck. In terms of just feeling inadequate, feeling unattractive, feeling like I could do better, feeling like I was subpar. And even that, it's sad. It's really sad. You know, you look back and you think, oh, wow, there's a kid there. I look back on 16-year-old me and think, you poor thing, stuck in this world of, I'm not good enough, so I have to make me better, you know? And I still feel like I'm there now. It's really hard. I don't know what the point of this video was. It's kind of like a therapy session part 2, right? Because there'll be someone out there that's watching going, yeah, I get it, that's me. And then there'll be some people out there that tuned in, they're like, I don't know why I clicked on this video, I don't know why YouTube suggested it, but I'm here anyway, I don't know what you're on about. No, I get that, it's fine. So, yeah, and I think I've fallen into the trap of trying to improve everything, always trying to be efficient with just everything I do, and it can't be done because life's imperfect, you know. I think part of my depression coming from having the kids is, and at first I thought this is not going to age well, but I thought, oh, maybe it's just that I don't like kids. Maybe we had kids and I was like, oh, this is harder than I thought, I don't really know what I'm doing, this is challenging. Maybe kids are just not for me. I've always said this, if you get married, you can get unmarried. You can go marry someone else. You can get not married at all. You can go live on your own. You can do what you want. If you buy a house that you think, that's my dream house, and you get there and it's not, you can sell the house and you can get a different house. You can go live in a motorhome if you want. When you have kids, you've always got kids. And I think that's where a bit of the depression came from for the first couple of years, because I think it's the disorder of kids, the sporadic nature, you know, that they're just little people. You sort of forget, you get to this point in our lives in your 20s, 30s, 40s, never mind 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, you guys are OGs around here. You get into your 20s, I'm 29 now, and you kind of have a decent idea of what's going on. When you're 18, you get to this weird point where you think you know what's going on, but you haven't a clue. But when you're a kid, you literally started out 2.5 years ago and you couldn't, never mind speak English, you couldn't speak. I mean, I didn't know that kids were nearly blind. They can't even see you for the first few, is it weeks or months? The first time you walk in a room and the baby tracks its eyes all the way around, you're like, oh, they're looking. So it's no fault of theirs. They're just trying to learn this world that we live in. And there's some natural constraints. And we're like, no. You don't get a cup of juice and pour it out on the floor. You know, and I think I'm struggling with that as well. The lack of consistency and organisation and order. I like processes and routines. I've just found out, you know. I always have liked them, but I've never been able to identify that as a character trait. And, yeah. Anyway, so that's me just having a ramble. If you can relate to any of that, please leave me a comment. Like, I'm not saying, oh, leave a comment for the algorithm. No, talk to me, because I'd be really interested to see if anybody else has had any experiences with obsession, OCD, disorder, feeling like you're going mad, you know, any tips, tricks, help. If you guys can help me, I'd really appreciate it, because there's some days I feel great and some days I feel helpless. So, but we just keep going. You know, I'm a big believer in you only fail when you quit. So let's just keep going. Keep trying our best. Keep working hard. And, yeah, see what we can do. Anyway, I need to find something to do, because it's 3:30 on a Wednesday, and I've got a massive list in front of me, and sometimes that gets overwhelming too. So, this is a hot take. The grass is always greener. You look at other people and what they're doing for work, and it's too easy these days for people like Ben Francis, who own and run Gymshark, to be like, oh, look at Ben running Gymshark, billionaire. Yeah, cool. But I bet his job's so incredibly stressful, it's unbearable. The only benefit he's got is that there's no financial constraints. Yes, I've not got a company with 500 people and we're not doing 500 million a year in sales, but I think I just run this business without the financial security. You know, if nobody does any work, I don't know, we'll find out when it ends. So, yeah, it's I don't know. Anyway, I'm going mad. I'm going to leave you to it because I've wasted enough of your time. So have a lovely day. I'll try my best too, and I'll catch up with you guys soon.